Happening now, officials say 3 people were killed in a plane crash near the Chautauqua County Airport last night. Details coming up. Plus, early voting sets records here locally with 14,000 ballots cast.
Well, the Sky Vision camera on top of the Seneca Allegheny Casino shows you a winter wonderland, but is there any more snow in the foreseeable future? I'll tell you about it next. The news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office has identified the 3 people who were killed in a plane crash last night near the Chautauqua County Airport. Sheriff Jim Quattrone says the 3 passengers, Alan Fuller, Valerie Holmes, and Linda Edwards, all knew each other. They resided in northern Pennsylvania. Quattrone says the pilot of the plane was Fuller. The fatal crash wreckage was found in an area between Route 380 and Route 60 in the town of Ellicott this morning. Authorities used state police helicopters and a drone to search for the crash site, with 13 fire departments and 4 police agencies all helping out. They say they also used a cell phone ping to find the approximate area of the crash site.
That was the location. The pings were the location where the plane was located. However, it was a independent searcher. They was out searching and located the debris.
Now, Quattrone says that the bodies of the deceased remained at the scene pending the approval of the FAA for removal. The FAA is now taking over his investigation. Well, records were made to be broken, and Chautauqua County voters set a local record with more than 14,000 voters taking part in early voting last week. Republican Election Commissioner Brian Abram tells us he's never seen anything like the local turnout, but cautions results will most likely not be known on election night. With more than 10,000 absentee ballots, also a record there, it will likely take at least a week to count and add them all together. Abrams says the 2 main factors for the higher than normal turnout is because of the presidential election year and that the COVID-19 pandemic has raised several concerns for voters. Abrams says the process has been going very, very well and urged anyone still voting by mail to make sure the postmark is clearly visible with the day's date. Now, WNY News Now will continue to bring complete local election coverage tomorrow evening with up-to-date totals and comments from local candidates. Well, more than 95 million votes have already been cast nationwide for the 2020 presidential election, and the candidates are using every last minute today to shore up votes for those waiting until Tuesday. Daryl Forges is in Wilmington, Delaware, with the latest on the final pushes from both campaigns.
One more day of campaigning left in the 2020 presidential race, and the main topic for many, the pandemic, seemingly spiraling out of control. Democratic nominee Joe Biden is pushing his trust of science and the medical experts.
Dr. Fauci called last week for a mask mandate. This isn't a political statement. It's patriotic duty, for God's sake.
While President Donald Trump entertained chants Sunday to fire the nation's leading infectious disease expert, who was warned the country needed to make abrupt changes in behavior, and that Biden's campaign is taking it seriously.
Fire Fauci, fire Fauci, fire Fauci.
Don't tell anybody, but let me wait till a little bit after the election. I appreciate the advice.
Biden will hold his last events Monday in Ohio and Pennsylvania, and President Trump will hold his final rallies in Wisconsin, Michigan, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania Monday. The Democratic nominee is leading in national polls and in some of these big swing states. In the end, Biden is hoping his message of unity hits the right note with voters.
I'm running as a proud Democrat, but I'll govern as an American president.
And Trump counting on his message as the law and order president to carry him to a victory once again.
We are going to defeat the Marxists and the socialists and the rioters and the flag burners and the left-wing extremists.
Daryl Forges reporting. Daryl, thank you. A live election coverage continues all day tomorrow, right here on WNY News Now. Well, many people woke up to a winter wonderland this morning in the Jamestown area, but it wasn't enough snow to bring a visit from Jack Frost or Frosty the Snowman himself. Our crews are out in the village of Falconer, where that community saw its first significant snowfall of the season. Many had to break out the snow brush to get to work today. However, the white and fluffy won't be sticking around for much longer, as temperatures are expected to reach near 70 come the weekend. Of course, we join Dakota in just seconds for a look at some of your photos and what the forecast in the future will be looking like. Certainly the November surprise. Thanks so much for joining us here for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about this and more in the comments down below. Good to see Mike. Good to see Stacy, Juanita, Patricia, David, Cindy, Wendy, Beth, and Pam and Joseph. Happy Monday to you. Thanks so much for checking in with the team that puts coverage first for your local news in the last 48 hours. No different than that between a fatal plane crash and the first wild winter weather of the season. Speaking of it, let's check in with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who joins us live. And it looks like, Dakota, you got a furry friend on set with you.
Yes, we do. This is Oliver, and this came into us on Facebook. He was enjoying the snow out there. And again, you know, all weekend long, the whole weather team was up keeping our eyes on this. So the weather team, including the news staff, is a little bit running on a little bit of sleep because obviously these past 48 hours, as Justin told you, has been very, very busy. But hey, the animals are loving this. And this is a shot from Randolph coming from Pam of the snow accumulation there. Now, obviously the snow accumulation was not noteworthy. It's not major, but it is noteworthy, being our first official snowfall of the year from many locations. And this came from our crew who shot that nice little video in Falconer. You can see the snow accumulation there as well. And we'll talk about snow totals coming up right now. The next graphic in here will be the snow totals, and you can see where we've actually went for snow totals. Rushford and Allegheny County had the most amount. Now, these were the totals we got in so far. We might get a little bit more through the afternoon here. 4 inches there. Ishway and Cat County, 3 inches. Kennedy, 3 inches. Olean, also 3 inches. Gary, 2.3. Falconer, 1.5. And Jamestown at the airport, 1 inch. Now, keep in mind, the airport is north of the city in the town of Ellicott, so your total is going to vary depending on your location. But 1 inch was what we had at the airport. This is the only little piece of snow that was left, this little strip of moisture that extended down from Erie County going into Cat County and then ultimately extending into Allegheny County. And all this you see right here is actually interference from the wind turbines that are in Wyoming County. The radar is right here at the Buffalo Airport. So obviously you're seeing the returns coming from the windmills that are there, and also right there as well, the wind farm that's in Arkwright. It shows up on the radar. But other than that, the rain is tapered off along with the snow, but we still could have a few patches of that through the afternoon. That's highlighted for you. Some sun will be possible through the day. Very cold, but the wind stays up. This is also going to become a problem in the fact that some of that snow might blow around. 33 to 45, northwest wind 20 to 30s with some wind gusts near 40 miles per hour. As Justin told you, we have a big warm-up in store by the time we go to the late week and the weekend. I'll tell you how warm in a few. Justin?
All right, Dakota, we'll look forward to that. Thank you. Well, portions of Celeron and West Ellicott were left in the dark this morning when a power outage hit the village. The Jamestown Board of Public Utilities tells us the outage was caused by a tree limb pulling down some service wires on Dunham Avenue. Now, as of this hour, crews are working to restore power and clean up the damage. A wind advisory calling for gusts of up to 50 miles per hour is in effect from 4 p.m. today through Tuesday. Dakota will, of course, have much more on that coming up. Well, the Cattaraugus County Sheriff's Office has found a missing woman following a motor vehicle crash yesterday in the town of Mansfield. Officials say 28-year-old Danielle Story of Little Valley was involved in a crash early yesterday afternoon on Bedded Hill Road. Now, she was not found at the scene, and officials feared she may have been hurt. Deputies were searching for this woman for hours, and they were concerned for her well-being. The search started at the accident scene and continued this morning. Now, there's currently no word as of her condition. However, deputies say she has been located. Well, coming up next, a lot more to tell you about. The latest on efforts to contain COVID-19 here locally. How many cases were reported over the weekend? But first, Governor Andrew Cuomo, he's tightening visitor restrictions to New York State. That and more as WNY News Now continues.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I'm Jason Schmidt. I'm a former felony prosecutor and a criminal defense attorney here in Chautauqua County. I've worked both sides of the system for the past 15 years. I'm the only candidate endorsed by local law enforcement. Police here in Chautauqua County know what's going on. Each year here in Chautauqua County, the police make about 1,000 felony arrests. In 2019, only 17.4% of those arrests resulted in felony convictions. I know how to fix their problems, and that's why I'm running for district attorney.
As a former county executive, I know exactly the challenges and opportunities that we have here in Chautauqua County. That's why I'm very proud to support P.J. Wendell for county executive. His knowledge, his experience, and his leadership are exactly what we need at this moment in time. I would ask you all to please support P.J. Wendell for county executive.
Wendell has the experience, he's got the leadership, and he's got the knowledge and ability.
One of the most important characteristics of a successful county executive is being able to surround themselves with the right people for the right situation. And that is exactly what P.J. Wendell has done. Having direct experience in county government is absolutely critical, and no one should start out as county executive with having no experience at all with county government. So P.J. Wendell brings that experience both as a long-term legislator and a former chairman of the legislature. He has my 100% support.
For the past 9 years, I've been a prosecutor right here in Chautauqua County, fighting to keep this community safe. My family lives here with me in Fredonia, and I grew up in Sherman, New York. Fighting to make sure that these communities stay safe is so very important to me. We have the highest caseload of any county in this state, and as your district attorney, I'm dedicated to making sure that each case gets handled the right way for not only the victims, but for the people that live in this county. I'm fully invested in this community, and I'm fully invested in this community's future. Vote Patrick Swanson for Chautauqua County District Attorney.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. Governor Andrew Cuomo, in what he says is an effort to slow the spread of COVID-19, has implemented the nation's toughest restrictions for anyone coming into New York State. The state will, under Cuomo's orders, require every visitor to show proof of a negative coronavirus test and then be tested again following a 3-day quarantine. The governor's office says enforcement of the travel restrictions will be done at the local level by county health department officials. The new order does not include commuters who come in and out of the state on a daily basis. Over the past 2 weeks, more than 76,000 new virus cases have been reported daily in the nation. Now, as of this weekend, there were more than 510,000 cases just here in New York, with more than 30,000 deaths since the start of the pandemic. Well, the Chautauqua County Health Department reported 28 new cases of COVID-19 over the weekend, bringing the county total to over 1,000 since the pandemic started. The county identified 15 new cases Saturday, with 13 additional yesterday. In related news, Cattaraugus County reported 15 new cases this weekend, bringing that county's total to 486. Now, one of the Cattaraugus County cases is a woman who works at a healthcare facility in Bradford, Pennsylvania. Chautauqua County is expected to provide more details later today about the update in COVID cases. Well, a surge in numbers have some officials nationwide scared. With more than 9 million confirmed, the United States has now broken a global daily record, and experts fear it will only get worse in the United States as flu season is upon us. Britt Conway has more as how the presidential candidates are making their final push on how they'll control the virus.
A grim world record. U.S. confirmed coronavirus cases have now surpassed 9 million, breaking a global daily record.
We now have one person being diagnosed of coronavirus every second. We have one American dying of coronavirus every 2 minutes, and that number is increasing.
The latest numbers from Johns Hopkins University also show the country has reported more than 230,000 COVID-19 deaths so far. According to the COVID Tracking Project, on Friday, 14 states reported record-high COVID-19 hospitalizations. Health experts and lawmakers urging people to be cautious this Halloween.
That means reminding everybody not to have parties in your home, to make sure that you're keeping your bubble small, your nuclear family if you can.
Meanwhile, presidential candidates making their final push on the campaign trail. Joe Biden acknowledges the escalating spread as President Donald Trump baselessly claims doctors are inflating COVID death counts for money.
Our doctors are very smart people. So what they do is they say, I'm sorry, but everybody dies of COVID.
9 million new cases nationwide. Another tragic milestone. Millions of people out of work, on the edge.
And yet another scary development. A person in California has tested positive for both COVID-19 and the flu at the same time. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Britt, thank you. Meanwhile, an influential model is predicting 399,000 total COVID deaths in the United States by February 1. Well, back here at home with no school on Wednesday, November 11th, Veterans Day, the Audubon Nature Center is reminding families there will be no better time to spend a day outdoors. To help families do that, the Nature Center is offering a special November camp day from 9 to 3 for kids ages 4 to 12. Children can discover the changes in nature as autumn slides into winter. Much of the day will be spent outdoors, so children are urged to dress for the weather and bring 2 full sets of clothing, including extra socks and mittens. They also need to bring a lunch, a snack, a water bottle, and of course a face mask. Now the cost for the camp is $40 or $30 for members of the group. Paid enrollments are due by Monday, November 9th. More information can be found on the Audubon's website. Certainly a great time to get outdoors, and a lot of people, as they actually transition from fall into winter, will bundle up and head out. Ski resorts and things like that finally are going to start to reopen, and nothing more like what we saw overnight to get us all ready for winter. Hopefully everyone is having a great day, and we thank you so much for joining us here for WNY News Now. Let's check in with the comments and say hello to Becky. Good to see Amanda, Nicole, Todd, Ashley, and Kelly as well. Let us know what you're doing today in the comments down below. We always love interacting. Well, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joins us back now with a full look at our weather forecast. And Dakota, it seems like we're on a roller coaster right now. It was pretty nice last week, and now it's winter again.
Yep,
and now we're going back up
down.
temperature-wise later on this week, too.
Yes, there's going to be a big temperature swing. I'll actually show you that in just a second here. So if you don't like the snow, it'll be going away. Don't worry. Let's take a look at the graphics, and that's a live look coming downtown from the top of the DoubleTree Hotel, and you can see some of the snow on top of the buildings downtown. Right now at the airport, we are at 32 degrees at freezing with a west wind of 21. That is going to become the biggest problem today. The snow is pretty much tapered off. It should be done through the day, but again, this wind is going to be the problem. We have a wind gust at 32 miles per hour right now as a noon hour, but it's feeling more like 20 degrees. This is really our first taste of winter so far this year, so you really have to bundle up as you go outside today. The sweaters are not going to do it. You're going to have the coats today, and it was windy overnight. These were the peak wind gusts since yesterday. 53 miles per hour at Fredonia, 49 in Clymer, also in Dunkirk, 43 in Lakewood, 42 in Randolph, 41 at the Jamestown Airport, and Ripley at 40 miles per hour. And the winds are still going to remain up through the day, and we still have this wind advisory in place for Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, and northern Erie County, Pennsylvania. It doesn't include southern Erie. It's mainly northern Erie, right near the Lake Erie shoreline. This goes until 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. But the good news is all the winter weather warnings, the winter weather advisories, and the lake snow warning that was in effect for Crawford County, Pennsylvania, have all since been canceled or have been allowed to expire. So let's take you through a future scan for the future winds. Where are they going here? So pretty much wind gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour through the afternoon. But watch what happens here as we go into the later part of the night going into tomorrow night. The wind gusts are really going to start to tick up here, about 43, 44 miles per hour. The strongest winds, as always, right near the Lake Erie shoreline, and they're ultimately going to taper down as we go into Wednesday or later Tuesday. The strongest winds are going to be Tuesday morning, and then into the later part of Tuesday, the winds settle down. Satellite and radar composite really doesn't show you a whole lot in the way of precipitation, but a lot in the way of cloud cover. And take a look at this. Lake Ontario has come alive. Look at these bands of lake effect snow coming straight off Lake Ontario, impacting parts of the Tug Hill region, going down into Binghamton and portions of central New York, and getting close to Albany as well. This is all in association with this colder air aloft that is came in with a trough that has moved through. So, but notice this dome of clear skies right here. This high pressure is going to go whoop like this and slide right into the northeast as we go into the later part of the week. And that's our next big thing that we're keeping an eye on. This is the upper air winds at the 500 millibar level. This is when the wind pattern starts to follow the weather. The weather starts to follow the wind pattern. Notice as we get to the later part of the week, this big heat bubble starts to build up across the south and it moves into the northeast. So that means when the jet stream pulls north, that means we're going to have pretty much warmer temperatures, and we're going well above normal temperatures by the time we go into the later part of the week. We're talking near 70 by the weekend. Yeah. Zone forecast inland area is nowhere near that today. Mid to upper 30s will likely do it across the area here. Lower 30s once you get into the valleys and the hills. It's going to be walking in a winter wonderland. Some stations are already playing Christmas music. Come on, get into the spirit. Next 7 days of your life coming up right now, brought to you by 42 degrees and sunny, 46 tomorrow. Should be partly sunny, just a small chance for a rain or snow shower in the morning. 60 on Wednesday, the sun is back. Oh my goodness. A few more clouds on Thursday, 58. And on Friday, there's that warm-up trend with lots of sunshine both Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with temperatures getting close to 70 by Sunday. Woof! We'll take a break. Be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
First Defense Weather is sponsored by 42 Degrees and Sunny, smoking deals on smoking accessories. Learn more at 42degreesandsunny.com. That's 42degreesandsunny.com.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I'm Jason Schmidt. I'm a former felony prosecutor and a criminal defense attorney here in Chautauqua County. Each year here in Chautauqua County, the police make about 1,000 felony arrests. In 2019, only 17.4% of those arrests resulted in felony convictions. It means that in less than 2 out of 10 serious crimes, the victims of those cases receive justice. 17.4% is not a number that's acceptable for me and my family. It certainly isn't good enough for yours.
Hi, I'm George Borrello, and I'm proud to serve as your senator for New York's 57th Senate District. In fact, in my first year, I've passed many pieces of legislation, as well as helping people and businesses in these challenging times. From fighting for a safe, common-sense reopening of our state's economy during the COVID-19 pandemic, to continuing the push for the repeal of the state's flawed criminal justice changes, which have made us all less safe, I am working hard for you every day as your state senator. Your vote will help me continue my mission to boost New York's economy struggling from the COVID shutdown, and for small businesses not just to survive, but thrive. I will also continue to hold the government accountable by reviewing policies that led to the tragic nursing home deaths statewide. I'm proud to represent our beautifully diverse region, and I will be honored to have your vote on Tuesday, November 3rd, so that I can continue my work fighting for you. It's not about rhetoric, it's about results.
Paid for by Borrello for Senate.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. Finally today, Jamestown High School officials say 2 of their seniors were recently selected for the College Board National Rural and Small Town Recognition Program. They say seniors Ryan Markley and Elizabeth Genton Byron were selected for the College Board program. The recognition is due to their academic achievements and performance on the PSAT. The school's principal says they're so proud of the 2 seniors for their hard work, as well as the high honor that they've received. Officials say the recognition will allow the College Board to help make it easier for them to connect directly to colleges across the nation. Now, many students in this program are contacted directly from colleges, inviting them to apply and consider opportunities like scholarships. Certainly so very hard for students, especially seniors, trying to make that decision now as to where they want to go. And even in some cases, they can't physically go to college anymore. You're going to have to do it online in some extreme school settings. So certainly great job to those 2 students. Well, we thank you so much for spending your afternoon here with WNY News Now as we bring you updates on local news that matters so much to you. And between the last couple 48 hours, between a lot of news and a lot of weather too that's been shaping us, and tomorrow is going to be no different with pretty much 24-hour coverage of the election. And there's a lot of really important local races. So we want to let you know, if you haven't voted yet, please make sure you go out and vote. It doesn't matter who you're voting for, as long as you get an opportunity to have your voices heard. And tomorrow night, live right here at 9 o'clock, will be the place that will follow the results live for you, connect you with some of these politicians and newsmakers who you're supporting, maybe you're not supporting, so we can hear directly from them and bring you as much updated information as we can about an election that is so very unprecedented. Well, now let's get a final check of our weather forecast with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. And Dakota, the weather the last couple of days has been pretty unprecedented. And this 7-day forecast that you have, it seems like it should be something, we should be like April Fools right now, because it doesn't seem right to me.
8675309. Have you seen that online?
I have.
Eric's forecast, 8675309. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be windy today and tomorrow, 35 and 46. But take a look at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's when that heat ridge starts to come up from the south and moves its way into the northeast. So we're going to make a run at 70 next Sunday. But again, both of the weekend days should be mainly dry, lots of sunshine. So if you don't like the snow, it's not sticking around for long. So if you do like the snow, gonna have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, that picture behind your 7-day, it's gonna be a change and come later this week.
Chia.
Dakota.
You're welcome.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We remind you, when you're on the go, stay in the know. It's easy. Download the WNY News Now mobile app, subscribe to breaking news push notifications, and we'll keep you updated every second of the day. We'll leave you with this live look over Chautauqua Lake. We're back here tomorrow at noon. Hope to see you then.